Hello and welcome back to Graceful 40s. Brandy here with another video. Today we're going to be talking about my low spend year plan, and I think it's going to fall closer to no spend, but there's going to be some things that I account for that are going to be low spend. So I'm going to walk you through the 10 methods, the plan, the why, all of that. So let us begin. So the reason why I'm doing a no spend year more or less is because I have $100,000 in student loans that I want to pay back. I want to take care of what I started and get it done. In order to do that, I need to really be thinking financially forward so that way it's getting done, but also that I'm continuing to cultivate good money habits and a good relationship with my money, which is something that I've been working on over the last couple of years as I've grown into like being a responsible adult and really cross-checking where I need to develop more skill set. So Fortune says what's up. He's always got something to say. So I'm going to explain a little bit more here. So the why, as I said, is the 100K in student loans, and I'm feeling really motivated to knock that out in the next 2 to 5 years. That's my goal. So I'm probably gonna have a whole bunch of low spend years, and potentially this becomes the lifestyle. So that's kind of where my mind is with it, is that I'm making this a lifestyle, because even when I do have the student loans all said and done, I still want to utilize what I learned during the season for the next season too. So let me go ahead and tell you the plan. How am I going to get through a no spend, low spend year? The first thing, number one, is to know my budget. And I have been working with my budget based on my current income, and I have that pretty much down. So that's step one, is just really locking in on what is my budget. Because if you don't know your budget, then I don't think you can really like figure out how to not spend, because there's no boundary. Your budget is essentially your boundary. So that's step one. Know your budget, stick to the budget. I know my budget, I'm gonna stick to my budget. I've been test running my budget for the last maybe several months, and since my income is steady and consistently the same amount every month, I can say for sure my budget should be pretty solid. So
join the tribe, please subscribe, hit the bell, and leave a comment.
Item number 2, increase my income in general. So in general, to pay back my loans, I want to and would find it necessary to increase my income, because that is just something. So I feel like if I were just focused on not spending money, knowing I have debt to pay, that wouldn't be sufficient. So part of my no spend year is to really increase different income streams, or increase my income to an amount that really lets me meet my loan repayment plan where I have my goals already set. So that is item number 2. Item number 3 is going to be cash stuffing. So that's going to keep me in line with my budget. I found that to be the most effective and efficient way to watch every dollar and to keep everything where it's supposed to be. So that's been really good. I only cash stuff my non-automated expenses. So gas, groceries, toiletries, and I keep a little bit of money, I think about $60 a month, for like fun money, so I can go out with friends, or like stack that for the few months and then use that for something else I'd like to do that is based on enjoyment. So that's $15 every 2 weeks, Yeah, wait, $15 every 2 weeks would be $30. So it's actually $30 a month. No, it's 60, because the 15 is per week. So yeah, $60 a month. There we go. Okay, so cash stuffing is another tool that I'm going to be using in my no spend year to keep me on task, like keep me real crisp on task. Okay, so item number 4, I'm going to be pantry shopping. If you haven't watched my Frugal nutrition content. That's where all of the pantry shopping project pantry videos are going to be housed. I did one, so you can definitely check it out. I'll have more. I'll probably do that like monthly, just to show you how I'm really working with what I have. And I'm a little bit of a homesteader, so I tend to just make things happen and do what I can from scratch. But no matter what, you can cook from your pantry, regardless if you're from scratch cooking or not. But to save money, it's more efficient to cook from scratch. Okay, so also just a sidebar, item number 5. So I'm just rolling out everything that goes into my process for low spend. Some of this is gonna be like literally what I can and can't buy, but I think more broadly, I need to know like the structure of things financially more than like what I'm gonna buy and not buy. And I'll explain more in a moment. But basically the next item I was gonna mention here is just for my loan repayment. Item number 5 here is that I am going to be doing the snowball method, Dave Ramsey, baby step number 2. So I'll probably be hanging out in baby step number 2 for a few years, but I don't mind because I'm just excited to like be courageous and deal with this debt that's been like lingering over my head. And I've been trying to like wait for student loan forgiveness because the field I work in, there is a category of forgiveness. So I was kind of trying to wait and see if the forgiveness would cover all of the folks in my career path or not before working on the loans, because I had a few years of forgiveness, but like they didn't really apply because I didn't meet the numerical value of forgiveness. So it like you have to meet all of the years to get it. So I was trying to figure that part out, but I realized where I am in life, I'm probably not going to do the forgiveness plan the way it's set up to get the missing years added in for forgiveness. So that's my short story, but I do have another video talking about my 100K student debt. That's the only debt I have, and I am going to share more there if you're curious to know more about that. So going on to item number 6. So this is where we're gonna start going in a little bit to like my no buy specifics. So I'm not gonna buy any clothes. Actually, this dress right here, if you look in my shorts, you can see this was an upcycle. So I am going to make my old clothes new, just using my sewing machine, which is up here. Can't see it. But I'm gonna just be sewing and upcycling the clothes that I have, because I have about 6-7 items that need to be mended or hemmed or adjusted or altered that are good clothes but just not wear ready. So I have new clothes in the closet more or less, or I can make new clothes out of clothes that I've just been on the bench. So I'm not buying any clothes, I'm not buying any makeup, but I will if I get to project pan, or if I get to empty on my eyeliner. I'm not wearing any eyeliner, but sometimes I like to. So that's something that I would buy. I'm like, I got like this much left on my current eyeliner pencil, but then I was gonna see if my lip liner would work until that's out, and then replace it with another one. So just kind of multi-purpose, so I can like stretch that a bit further, because I don't always use eyebrow pencil. I will replace my tinted sunscreen because the SPF is too good and it just works really well. So I'm not gonna trouble myself about that. If I run low on my tinted moisturizer, which is I think it's NYX brand or something, then I'll replace it. I found it on Amazon once or twice for like $5, and other times it's like $17. So I'm gonna keep an eye out for it, and when it's time, I'll go ahead and buy it again. I have plenty of lipsticks. Enough lipsticks to last me the next 4 or 5 years, honestly. I have plenty of blush. I don't need to buy any blush or concealer. I don't think I'll run out of concealer for the next year because I just use a little bit. And I don't even wear makeup every day, honestly. So that won't be something I have to worry about. I'm going to be limiting groceries to whatever's in my budget and pantry. And the other thought is I'm not going to be buying anything for the house really, unless it comes out of my fun money category, because this wall here, I'd like to get wallpaper for this wall just to give my house a little bit more style, because I really, wherever I stay, I like to have it look finished. And even though I'm fairly minimalist, I'm also like a mediumist because I like to have a really cozy home environment. So I need accent walls and I need cozy vibes, and we're halfway there, but not quite. So I will be doing some small projects, but not too much. And whatever that is probably going to be from my fun money budget, where I'll just stack a few months of budget and then just get it together. So no trouble there. Another thing that I'm going to be doing is freezer meal. So item number 8 is freezer meal prep, which is a good way to save money, because if you have food ready at your house that you would actually enjoy eating, you save money. I am a person who likes to have stuff ready to go, and having freezer meals actually help me feel like there's more variety, especially as a project pantry person who like makes stuff from whatever I have in the pantry in the week. I also freezer shop. So I check what I have in my freezer, and whenever I cook something, I usually try and make double batches or triple batches, so then there's always some other meals that are kind of just ready to go in the freezer that I can easily access and utilize. So I like to do that, and it makes it feel like I'm kind of getting something new and fresh, although it's food that's already been in the budget, and it's just like I cook the food that I actually know we eat here. So I try to keep most of the foods that are stocked as foods that are zero waste items, which are literally foods that my family and I eat to completion. And it's just me and my 2 sons, so like it's pretty straightforward. They like starches and protein mainly, and so I just kind of make things very simple from freezer meal prep. Another thing that I'm going to be testing out this year, and y'all gonna have to wish me some luck because I am not sure if I've got it. I've tried it off and on over the years and I haven't actually been successful, so this could be the power year for me. What I'm going to be doing, item number 9, is starting a windowsill garden in my kitchen. And once I get the windowsill garden in my kitchen done, then I'm going to include a patio garden as well. So that means I'm going to have to get like some flooring, because the neighbors below me, they have like pets. They're not pets, so that's not the problem, but they don't clean up after their pets. So I just need to like really kind of section off my patio, because there's always like flies and stuff. So I want to get like some sheets that are sheer to cover the open part of my patio, and then put like a grass mat down and get that measured, and then start working on that outside patio garden. But I'm gonna wait and just start with my windowsill garden and build towards it. So in the windowsill, I want to grow some onions, garlic, sprouts. I'm gonna do broccoli sprouts and alfalfa, and I'm going to do tomato and potato potentially. I'll have to figure out if that has to go outside or not, but ultimately those are the main things I would want to have in my garden, because I use those. And mint is even optional. I'm not a big mint person. I'll love it for tea, but you know, if it grows and it's easy, then I would definitely make that a habit. Okay. Item number 10, the last thing for my no spend year, what I'm working on, is just general homesteading. If you kind of look at all the different things, or a lot of the things on my top 10 list, a lot of them are kind of homesteading categorically. So like sewing my own clothes, making meals from scratch, getting my garden going, pantry shopping, freezer meal prep. You know, a lot of people do canning. I think I prefer freezer versus canning so far, just because I don't want to get another utensil to figure out. Like I can just literally put the food I make in the freezer instead of putting it in jars where I need to buy jars. I also would need to buy a pressure cooker to can with. So for me, it's just easier to cook your food, put in the freezer. It's the same difference. So, I mean, people do both for different reasons, but for me, trying to cut back on extra things, that's gonna be my approach. So mainly this is my power year of no spending, but also really embracing a homesteading practice. So we're gonna have graceful homestead happening over here, and I'm excited about it. Plus, it's like fun for a no spend year to like have a bunch of fun things to do, right? So the other thing I'm gonna be navigating is like, what are the 12 free activities? Because I wanna try new things every month so that I don't get bored, because I can't just live in my house sewing all day. I can't just live in my house reading all day. So I'm gonna try and find free activities. I have a run club that I'm a part of. There's a garden club I'm a part of that meets at the library. So those are two things, but I think I'm gonna work on some other activities to get a full set of 12 of things to do, no cost, to enjoy a no spend year, because maybe I can just make each month more fun that way. So that's kind of the idea. So this is my no spend year blueprint, and I'm hoping that it goes really great. I'm feeling really good about it, feeling really excited about it. I might do a quarterly check-in so I can tell you how I'm doing with the no spend, low spend, and it should be pretty easy to track, like, did I buy anything that takes me out of budget? And what I'm trying to do is one of the really important tools, item number 11, is I need to assess like a year, 12 months in advance, like what are the potential things that are going to come up this year that I actually need to save up for, so that way it falls into the budget money I've set aside. And I did a cash stuffing video where I was explaining how I roll money over from my budget. So if I set aside $40 for gas for 2 weeks and then I'm just walking everywhere, that's $40 that goes into the funds that are just set aside for other things I'd like to do. So like right now my mom's in town, and so because she didn't tell me she was coming and I have not yet prepped in advance, then I have to pull from my budget to like go out to eat and all that stuff. But just in general, I kind of have to navigate like whatever's happening before it happens. So even going 3 months ahead of schedule will be efficient for me to prepare for each season a little bit better. So I'm not gonna be so rigid or stress myself out about getting perfect, although my goal is to stay very close to my goals of no spend, low spend. But also I'm not going to pretend like this isn't my first try. I'm gonna make mistakes and I'm gonna accept those mistakes. I'm gonna learn from it instead of giving up, because this is something that's important to me. So this is how I'm getting it done. I don't know, have you ever done a no spend month, a week, a year? Let me know in the comments. I definitely want to hear from you. If you have any advice, have you thought about doing a no spend or low spend year? Are you gearing up to? Let me know, because I want to cheer anyone on who's really going for it or thinking about it. So leave a comment if that's you. And I am going to go ahead and let you have a restful, beautiful rest of your day. And I'm going to go on about my business. So take great care. I will catch you in the next episode. Please be sure to subscribe. Join the tribes, subscribe, hit the bell, leave a comment. Okay, I will catch you in the next video. Take great care. Be blessed.